Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela WebDev. So in this video we will learn about the form implementation of this grocery list. So we have completed the design of all the components. Now it's trying to implement the logic in all the components. Now here if you try to see, first we will come through the add item. Whenever you try to add an item, so this item should be added successfully and it needs to show in the items list. So this is our concept. So now this is item name, quantity and also the price. So when I click on this add item, item has to be added. Fine. Now this is our add item component. Now here we are having a form and we are having a button. Now if you try to see, each one is having an input element. Now in the React.js or anywhere, you need to understand that. So whenever you are trying to write an data in value inside an input element, so this value is held by the DOM. So this DOM is holding the value, not the React.js. So the React.js doesn't have this value. The DOM is holding the value. Now whenever the DOM is holding the value, so whenever you want to do some logic, the React.js needs to ask to the DOM and they need to collect the data from the DOM element. So this type of collection data and all those things is called as an uncontrolled component. Why? Because the value, the React component doesn't have control over the value of this input element. So this is called as an uncontrolled component. So this is pretty simple, okay, implementation. So getting the data through an uncontrolled component is simple. So we can implement it very easily. But if you want to have more features or if you want to use the more reactive features and all those things means, then we need to convert this one into a controlled elements or controlled component. So the control component or control elements in React.js is nothing but what I can say is the input elements values or anything, the form values, which is controlled by the state or the props. When the parent component or any component controls the child component of form element through the state or props means, then we can say it as a controlled element. So here this is our add item thing. So now it needs to be controlled through the state. Then we can say these all the elements and all those things, the component is a controlled component. Now this is very simple technique. So just you need to understand the meaning of this one. So if you try to go here in somewhere, if you try to search in YouTube or anywhere, controlled components in React, if you try to search it, so you will be able to see in React, control components refer to components that have their state and behavior controlled by the parent component. Okay, so this is the main thing. So that means, so we need to have the state and the behavior controlled by its component. Now the components rely on props passed down from the parent component to update the state and behavior. Uncontrolled components refer to the components that manage their own state internally. So this is called as a control component. And also we have a concept called as a control elements. So this is called as a control elements. So let's try to see this one. So we will learn more about this one. So I will try to explain you about this. So now here what I want to do is, so here I want to implement the state behavior of this one. So how many elements we are having? We are having name and quantity and price. Let's create the state elements for this one. Constant name comma set name. So we are having this one and I will implement use state of. So for the time being I will keep it as an empty. Okay, constant, and let's go to the inspect element and we'll do the inspect element also for the time being, and console. So right now we don't have any errors. Okay, so if you try to see constant quantity and set quantity is equal to use state of, we'll make it as an 1. Okay, so constant, what I can say, price, and also set price is equal to use state of empty. Okay, so no use price of 0 will be the price. So now we have implemented the thing. So now we need to import this use state. So that is the reason it is throwing an error. It should be imported from the React. Fine, everything is fine. So now let's refresh this page. Why use state is throwing error? Yeah, so gone. Now I want to convert this one to this one, right? So now here I will append value is equal to name for this one, and also here also I will append the value is equal to and quantity. Okay, and here also I will append this one to you, value is equal to price. So now we have added the value. So we are controlling this one through the state value. Now if you try to see here, we got an error. A component is changing an uncontrolled input to be controlled. So this is an uncontrolled input, okay, and we are trying to change into a controlled input. So that means we are trying to change into a controlled thing. So this is likely caused by the value from changing undefined to defined value. Should not happen. Deciding between using a control or uncontrolled input element for the lifetime of so like this you are saying. So that means you are trying to change the input element from uncontrolled to uncontrolled. So now you have changed only some part only, so it needs to change full part. So now we have converted this one. So now I will show you the thing. So here whatever the value I write it here, this is Leela or anything, or otherwise milk packet. I will try to write the milk packet. If you implement this milk packet, now if you try to see here, automatically the milk packet has came, okay. But if I want to change the value here, so we cannot change it. So if I am doing the back button, or if I am trying to delete this entire thing, it's not getting deleted. Why? Because this value is dependent on the state, okay, the state value, that is nothing but the name state value, and now you cannot change the change. So if you change the state value only, then only this input value will be input value will be changed. So that for that reason, what we need to do, we need to implement the on change event for this one. So in React.js we don't have a two-way binding, so you don't think that we can implement a VIFN model or NGIFN model like that. There is no two-way binding in React.js. So now we need to implement on change. So we know that about on change, and here we will be getting this one. Now for on change value, what we need to do, so here you can write event target. So or otherwise what I can say is, so you need to set the name. So set name. So what is the name you need to set here? So here you will be getting an event target element. So for example event you will be getting. Now if you try to see the inspect element, and here if I try to change the value, so it has turned into an object. Why? Because so you are getting an event here. If I try to do the console.log of e, okay, so you will be getting, and here so we need to target something like event. So now like this we need to do it. So now if I try to refresh this page, and here first time you will be getting milk packet, and let's remove this one all, and here if I write something, so here you will be able to see we are getting an event. And if you click on this one, so we will be having whole lot way of DOM event. You will be able to see that input event where we have already learned it, right? And in the target, in the value, you will be having this value, okay. So that means whenever I try to target dot value, then you will be able to get the value for this one. If I refresh this page, and I will remove this one all. So if I am writing something means, so here see we are able to get the value. So now when we get the value, we need to update it to the state. So what can I do here? Instead of writing the console, so here I can write set name of e dot target dot value, okay. So you can write it like this. Now if you implement the same thing, so here we are able to write the concept here. So we are able to write the data. Why? Because the state is also getting updated according to this one. If you try to see in the components here, in our components we are working on the add item, right? So if you click on this add item, and if you go here to somewhere, what is happening here? Yeah, so add item, and here we are able to see this item, right? So the state is also getting updated whatever the value I am trying to write it here. So this is how we will be converting the uncontrolled element to an controlled input. Now the same scenario we will implement this one for the remaining elements also. So for example we are having quantity, right? So this one also on change is equal to, and here we will be having an element, and here I can write set quantity of e dot target dot value, okay. So we can implement it like this, and here also on change is equal to, so e set price of e dot target dot value. So we have converted all our input elements to an control input. So now here whenever I write it milk packet or anything, and here I will try to select the 2, and if I try to select the 123, so here you will be able to see 12. So the state value is getting updated, milk packet 2 and 12. So now we are able to get all the values of this one. So now here we can target everything, right? So we can make use of these all the values, and we can do the logic whatever you want. So this is called as a control elements, control input. So we are using the concept of the control component, and we are making use of this all the values, controlling the values of the DOM elements using the state behavior. So now this is the concept of about this control thing. So now I will commit this all the code. Let's move further into the code. After in the next video we will try to submit this add item, and we will capture this all the values, and we will try to save it in the items list. We'll do it in the next video. What I will do is I will commit this all the code in a video-24, and I will commit this all the code. So here controlled elements, and here publishing this branch. And whoever may be having doubts or anything about this one means, so you can go to my course React 18, and you can get all those details. Whatever the video you are trying to watch, you can go to that particular video branch here provided in the top, and you can watch the video. Okay, so we can refer to the code. Hope you understood about this controlling the form of the form elements. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.